What is going on, everybody? Back at you with another episode of Move the Chains podcast with your host and your man, Sam McIntyre. Hope we're doing well today on this beautiful, summery fall Sunday afternoon. I figured to get on here today. Got a lot to talk about. The Tua injury. I saw some stuff last night during the Colorado State game I wanted to get to, mainly about leadership from quarterbacks, and just the overall game between the Bills and Dolphins. And again, I picked the Dolphins to win. They were at home, but I should have known Josh Allen is on a tear, and this guy just eats up the Dolphins. 36 touchdowns, and I believe 5 interceptions, if my stats are correct. And then a bunch of rushing touchdowns. So I wanted to get on here and hop on and talk to you guys about that today. Hope everybody's doing well today. So my take on the game the other night was just Buffalo just owns Miami. I trust Buffalo a little bit more. I think the Buffalo Bills just do a great job at kind of stymieing that offense for Mike McDaniel. But I don't know. I mean, it's just Mike McDaniel. I like him, but you got to do something more. You got to see what you got to do better. And this offensive line's awful. And I, what I can't figure out is he comes from San Francisco where they're so physical and they're so just intense and they beat the hell out of you. But I feel like he comes to Miami and he's bringing this fast pace and all this stuff, and it kind of reminds me of those Miami teams with Dan Marino. I feel like I'm watching the same movie again when it was Jim Kelly against Dan Marino. But it was sad the other night when Tua got hurt again. I don't wish anybody injury. I've been on here before. I've told you what I think about Tua as the player. But as the person, he's got some Dak Prescott kind of vibes, and I was thinking today how I was going to phrase this, what I was going to say, but a lot of Dak Prescott vibes. Great at the podium, great guy, great kid. Both went to SEC, both were dominant in college. I think Tua more so just because of the supporting cast he had around him in Alabama, of course, and then Dak Prescott, they were first in the country, I think, at one point when he was at Mississippi State. So there's a lot of good things with both those guys, but they're flawed. I mean, I've seen this movie before. They're both great in the regular season, but when it comes to post, they shrink and they don't do well. Do I think the Bills could go on a run? I do. They're one of the 12 teams that have never won a Super Bowl, but I believe that they can. I think with this version of the Bills, they run the ball. They don't need Josh Allen to go Superman. Occasionally they do. It doesn't help me out because he's on my fantasy team, but for this version, yes, I think they could. But that was my take on that. And then with the Tua thing, I want to circle back to that. I don't know what happens with his career. I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, everybody's had concussions, I've heard, and, he might end it early. I would do that. But it's up to him. But he's got enough money in the bank. I think he could retire. Now, this puts Miami in a bind. This is why I had them third in the division, because I know the Jets got a lot of issues, but it was the Niners week 1. I'm not putting too much stock into it. Aaron Rodgers is rusty. That's fine. He hasn't played in 500 days. How could anybody be great after missing a lot of time? So I think they're going to be okay. The Jets, they'll be fine. Still rocky, though. And I don't love the whole Aaron Rodgers. This is why, again, I've said I love Aaron, but this is why he's so weird to deal with. The eye rolling and he's not talking to Hackett on the sideline. I know my dad and I talk about this all the time. He doesn't think it's a big deal. To me, it is, because I have 3 other podcasts that I listen to from ex-scouts and people in personnel departments and front offices, and they see the same thing. They don't want this nonsense, this drama, going into darkness retreats all the time. Just be normal, dude. I'm not into freak show acts. I said this last couple days ago. So that was my take on it. I hope Tua well. I wish him well. And I did think it was really, really cool that the Bills fans and Bills Mafia, even though they're crazy, that they gave $20,000 and raised it. That was so cool to me. Just shows what the human race could do. When you get a bunch of people together, it's more than just a game. I know football's great, and I love it. But it was just really cool. And I was really kind of taken aback from it. I know I saw it on my Facebook this morning, NFL memes, but I was just taken back from what the Bills did. I think they did this with Damar Hamlin a couple years ago. I had to think for a second. But yeah, I mean, it was great. And the last thing I want to talk about, I saw something last night. I'm really getting tired of Colorado. I just think they're fake. They're in the clicks, and I get it. I loved it when Oregon beat the brakes off them last year. You know, it was a nice little story with Dion. And listen, he's brought a lot to the Colorado program in a great way, the attendance and all this stuff. But I'm looking at his program. You can't have all these transfer kids, man, and expect to go. And Shedeur, he pisses me off more and more I watch him, the more and more he's becoming unlikable to me. And, you know, people can comment and say, well, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is. The quarterback position is a leadership position. And you're not acting like it. I've got a litany of lists, and I've heard it from Danny Cannell, who covers, who played college football and knows this shit. I've heard it from everybody. Any info I can get on a quarterback that has some question marks, listen, my Raiders need a quarterback, okay? We play the Ravens in about an hour. I don't know how that's going to go. But this season, I'm feeling like we need to get a quarterback. You should have last year, and it drives me crazy. Even though I did say this in the draft video, I was okay with them taking Bowers, but you need a quarterback. You need one. I can't sit. You need a guy. And he's one of my favorites right now is Cam Ward from Miami. He played at Washington State, went to some college in Kennett Ward or something like that. I don't know where that's at. But he's a gamer, man. I love this kid. He's 6'2", 223. He's a tough SOB. He's got the 7-on-7 kind of vibe. He's fun. Takes no shit. I love him. I take this kid. Hell, I don't know if I take him first round, but I take him second round. He's got that vibe to him. And I'm out on Shedeur Sanders. I can't be into this. You know, the first game of the year, he's throwing a ball down the sideline. When the game's over, just take a knee. It's selfish football. And then I saw Kyler Murray. And again, I've never been sold on Kyler. If you want to know why, get on your computers. Everybody's got YouTube. And go watch Kyler Murray, Dan Patrick interview. It is the most cringy, annoying thing I've ever seen. And it screamed to me, and I told my dad this at the time, this is why you don't take this kid. He's mayor of Munchkin Land. He's a little beep beep, little road runner, beep beep. Little beep beep. He ain't it, man. And I saw something the other day that last year, for anybody who knows football, Budda Baker's a safety. One from Washington. Great kid. Great kid. One of the most underappreciated players in the league. And he got hurt last year. And this kind of screamed to me. I was listening to my pod this morning on my long, long walk in the nice weather. And he got hurt. Budda Baker was out last year. Hell of a player. And Kyler Murray is sitting on the bench while everybody else is supporting Budda Baker. Alarm bells went off in my head and went, this ain't it. He's sitting on the bench by himself. He's not talking to his linemen. You know, he's not going down there communicating, hey, what's this front? How are we going to do this? What are we going to do? You guys okay? Am I doing enough? You know, kind of trying to rally the troops a little bit, galvanize people when they're down. That's the quarterback's job. And then last week, you know, Marvin Harrison's your prized possession that you need. And you couldn't get him the ball. Because, again, he's mayor of Munchkin Land. He's 5'10". This is, again, it goes back to you need to be a grown-up. Take accountability. That's what the quarterback position is. You get all the glory, and then you get all the shit. Even if it's not your fault, you got to take accountability and take actions to do so. And I'm out, man. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be, and I get this question asked all the time, why are you so hard on these quarterbacks? Because these organizations are worth $5 billion, and you need to be a franchise quarterback. Oh, sorry, it's tough shit. You're going to be a franchise quarterback. If you're going to be one, you better act like one. And I'm out. I'm out on Shedeur. I'm out on Kyler Murray. Shedeur Sanders, to me, reminds me of Caleb Williams last year with all the nonsense. Painting his nails. Fuck you. No. I'm not into that. Shedeur, stop trashing your offensive line. Stop trashing your offensive line. And actually, don't trash your receiver either. After you threw a pick six, that's on you. So, I just, to me, I'm going to be judging these quarterbacks harshly, and the rest of the year, and I'll do this for a while until I don't love football anymore. But I'm judging quarterbacks more hardly than I've ever done it, and I get a lot of resources from a lot of different places, reading articles on these kids. So, I listen. I hope the season goes well for Colorado. Maybe prove me wrong with Shedeur. Maybe he gets humble and matures. But then another situation last night. He didn't shake the hand of the guy after the game. What are we doing? This is just bad look. And it's a ding, 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 ding. I can't anymore with these quarterbacks. It's bad. And I don't know if it's going to get fixed. I don't know. So, hope you guys do well today on this Sunday. Enjoy football. I'll be back more this week with a bunch of more videos, which I know you guys love to watch. Subscribe, comment, share, tell your friends, so I can keep this thing going and branch this video out more, and support my Move the Chains podcast. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.